You look at that mountain of dead leaves and you see a problem, a chore, a mess to be bagged and dragged to the curb before the wind scatters it all over your yard again. You're wrong. You're looking at a bank vault and it's wide open. That's not trash. That's next year's food sitting there in plain sight and you're about to walk right past it. Everyone does. They see the brown, the dry, the brittle. They think compost and their mind goes to a slow, cold heap that takes a year to turn into anything useful. So they bag it or they burn it or they just let it sit matted and sour, killing the grass beneath it. That pile isn't just sitting there. It's screaming at you. It's screaming that you're about to waste a fortune in fertility because you don't understand the engine. An engine that's currently stalled, frozen. You've seen it. A leaf pile that just sits for months, sometimes years. A damp, cold, slimy lump that seems to defy nature itself. That's the systemic threat. That pile represents a broken cycle. You're importing fertility in bags from a store when the annual shipment of perfect carbon just fell out of the sky onto your property. You're stuck in a loop of dependence because a biological process feels too slow, too mysterious, just too out of your control. So you opt out. Let's reframe that. Right now, leaves are not waste. They are stored solar energy packaged in lignin and cellulose. They are the annual profit from your trees. The problem is never the material. The problem is the conditions. Think of that cold matted pile as an unlit furnace. You've piled up the fuel, the carbon, but you never struck the match. You never gave it the air it needs to breathe. You never gave it the nitrogen it needs to burn. So it just sits there, a monument to good intentions and biological failure. That changes today. The core principle is simple, brutal, and non-negotiable. Decomposition is not magic. It's a fire, a slow, wet, biological fire. And like any fire, it needs fuel, it needs oxygen, it needs a spark. Your leaves are the fuel. Pure, dense carbon, the air is all around you. The spark, that's nitrogen. And the absence of that one element, that catalyst, is why your pile is a cemetery instead of a reactor. You're about to learn how to become a mechanic for that engine, not a gardener, a mechanic. You're going to diagnose why it's stalled. You're going to prime the fuel. You're going to build the reactor chamber and stoke the fire. And in 18 days, you're going to be holding black gold that didn't cost you a cent except a little sweat and the willingness to see that mountain in your yard for what it really is. Not a problem, an opportunity. Let's open the vault. All right, you understand the threat. You see the vault. Now we crack it open. Diagnose the stalled engine. Walk over to that cold, sad pile in the corner of your yard. Stick your hand in it. Is it cold? Is it dry in the middle, but slimy on the bottom? Do the leaves stick together in a wet, matted sheet that smells vaguely sour? Congratulations. You've just found a biological crime scene. The engine is seized. Here's why. That pile is almost pure carbon. Think of carbon as the logs in your fireplace. Nitrogen is the newspaper and the match. Your leaf pile is a fireplace stuffed with nothing but dense, hard oak logs. No kindling, no spark. The technical term is the carbon to nitrogen ratio. Leaves are about 60 parts carbon to 1 part nitrogen. The sweet spot for a hot, fast compost fire is half that, 25 to 1. You're off by a factor of more than 2. That's your first problem. Your second problem is matting. Those whole leaves lay flat. They stick together. They create airless pockets where the only microbes that can survive are the slow, lazy, anaerobic ones. The ones that don't need oxygen. They're the ones that make the sour smell. They're not your friends. They're the reason the pile feels dead. So the diagnosis is simple. No nitrogen, no air, often no consistent moisture. The material is fine. The conditions are a disaster. This isn't a compost pile. It's a storage unit, a very bad one. Realization time. The leaves aren't the problem. The absence of everything else is. Let's fix it. Let's become mechanics. Prime the biological fuel. You are going to physically and chemically transform that carbon into a habitat. Step 1 is non-negotiable. You must shred the leaves. I don't care how you do it. Run over them with a lawnmower. Use a weed whacker in a garbage can. Jump up and down on them in the kiddie pool. Your goal is to break the physical structure. Whole leaves are a fortress. Shredded leaves are a sprawling city with open doors for trillions of microbial immigrants. This increases surface area exponentially. It prevents matting. It is the single most important thing you will do. Do not skip this. A pile of whole leaves will fail every time. Now the spark. You need concentrated nitrogen. You have two main paths. The fast way, make a manure tea. Get a bucket. Put a shovel of fresh manure, chicken, rabbit, goat, doesn't matter, into a burlap sack or an old pillowcase. Dunk it in a 5-gallon bucket of water. Let it stew for a day. That water is now liquid microbial rocket fuel. The other way, if manure isn't your thing, is blood meal. It's dried, powdered blood from slaughterhouses. Sounds grim. It is grim. It's also pure, fast-acting nitrogen. Mix a cup into a gallon of water, stir it. Either way, you now have your catalyst, your match. Before you build anything, you moisten your shredded leaves. Take that nitrogen-rich water and sprinkle it over the leaves as you turn them. You're aiming for the consistency of a wrung-out sponge. Not dripping, not dusty, damp, uniformly damp. This is critical. A dry center is a dead zone. It'll stop your entire biological fire in its tracks. You are not building a pile yet. You are preparing fuel. Get this right. The rest is just stacking and stoking. Now we build the engine. Construction and stoking. You have your primed fuel, shredded, nitrogen-rich, perfectly damp. Find a spot on bare earth, not on concrete, not on a tarp. You need that connection to the soil. That's your microbial inoculant, your starter culture. Start stacking. Build a pile at least 3 ft wide and 3 ft tall. That's your minimum critical mass. Anything smaller won't hold the heat. It'll bleed warmth into the air and stay dormant. This pile needs to be a self-insulating reactor. Build it, then walk away for 2 days. Let the fire light. On day 3, come back with a pitchfork and a compost thermometer if you have one. If not, your arm works fine. Plunge your hand into the center. It should feel unmistakably, surprisingly warm, not cozy, hot. The goal is 130 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the sweet spot. That heat is your metric. It means trillions of microbes are eating, reproducing, and converting your leaves at a staggering pace. That heat is your confirmation. You are no longer guessing. You are reading the gauge. Now you stoke. Every 3 to 4 days, you turn the entire pile. Not just the top, not just the edges. The whole thing, invert it. Move the outside material to the inside. This is not optional maintenance. This is the core of the process. You are reintroducing oxygen. You are breaking up anaerobic pockets before they form. You are redistributing heat and moisture to any cooler, drier spots. You are quite literally feeding the fire. Do this 3 times over the next 10 days. That's it. 3 turns. Each time check the moisture. It should still feel like that wrung-out sponge. Add water if it's dry. The pile will shrink. It will get darker. The sharp, leafy smell will fade into a deep, earthy fragrance, like a forest after rain. That's the smell of success. That's the smell of finished work. Around day 18, it will be done. Harvest and system integration. This is where you get paid. The compost is finished when it's dark, crumbly, and you can't identify a single original leaf. It's cool to the touch. The biological fire has burned itself out, leaving only rich, stable humus. You can screen it through a piece of hardware cloth to get a fine, beautiful tilth for seed starting. But that's just aesthetics. The real magic is in the application. This isn't just dirt. This is a biological inoculant, a microbial army specific to your land. When you plant tomatoes, put a handful in each hole. Top dress your berry bushes with it. It's not just food for the plants. It's an ecosystem upgrade for your soil. And here's the beautiful closing loop. This finished leaf compost is now a perfect nitrogen-rich green material. You can mix it right back into your next carbon-heavy compost batch. You're no longer consuming inputs. You're cycling them. You have taken a problem, a mountain of leaves, and engineered it into the foundation of your fertility. That changes everything. The calendar flips. Autumn leaf drop is no longer the end of the growing season. It's the starting pistol for the soil building season. You're no longer someone who disposes of waste. You are a system manager. You see abundance where others see burden. You see a vault wide open. You know the combination. That cold, matted pile from the beginning, it's still there, in a million yards. But you don't see it anymore. You see potential energy. You see a simple, controllable, biological system waiting for a mechanic. You see next year's harvest lying on the ground, quietly. All you have to do is pick it up. If this story changed the way you look at the dead leaves in your yard, please subscribe and like the channel. We are excavating the natural history they tried to bury. Start planting the future today. The next treasure chest of the earth will be open soon.